dig it? Can you dig it?
Ladies, gentlemen, friends, foes, lurkers, regulars, GMO people, organic people.
Boiler room. Inbound. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, here we are. Here we go. Welcome to the Boiler Room. Thank you for joining us for this live broadcast. I'm your host. My call sign is Hesher, and I want to thank you for joining us for yet another meeting of the Social Rejects Club, broadcasting live right here at alternatecurrentradio.com. And we are streaming out live tonight on Rumble, on X, and on YouTube. It's great to be here with you. Thank you for joining us. So, World War III? Yay? Nay? I don't know. Last week it was like, oh, we've got 2 weeks to flatten the curve of World War III. And then it was like, oh, no, only 2 days. And then it was like, oh, Israel struck. And Trump said, don't do it. And then the next morning, Trump says, oh, yeah, we're going to do it too. And then strikes. And then what is this place we find ourselves in, my friends? And of course, if you're glued to the X feeds, like so many of us are, you're seeing all these strange spats and bifurcations and more polarization and fracturization among the MAGA base, the independent base, the DGAF base. I mean, everybody at this point is just like, I think that we are all supposed to be, the intent of all this is that we're all supposed to be bludgeoned, right? Browbeaten and bludgeoned into either compliance with a pre-scripted narrative or embracing dissonance and tuning out. I think that's pretty much where they want us all right now. So we're going to see if we can't do what we usually do and walk right down the edge of that razor blade between the dialectics here in the Boiler Room. Again, our website's alternatecurrentradio.com. Got to shill for ourselves for a moment here and mention that we have a Patreon that you could join. We appreciate our Patreon members, and we had a meeting last week, talked about revamping that, making it a little bit more better, if you will. But we do have a thriving Patreon group who helps keep this show alive. So thanks to them. And if you want to join them, you get some extra perks in the Discord. It's not a bad thing if you like the show. We also have a store. You can grab some shirts. You can even buy a shirt that has the Boiler Room logo on it, and it's got a big ass picture of Fauci, and it says fraud in giant letters under it. So that's a great one to wear around town. I can tell you what, you get some looks, you start some conversations. It's fun. Anyways, here we go. Let's say hi to everybody joining us tonight. We've got the Mystical Pharaoh joining us. Let's drop him into the stream here. Mystical Pharaoh, what's up, man? Welcome to the Boiler Room.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm great. It's good to be back with you.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So what's in your subtitle today? Who is your daddy and what does he do? Where's that come from?
That's from Kindergarten Cop, but we know who I'm talk about when I say who's your daddy. I have a sugar daddy right now. He's going around and just spending billions and billions and billions.
Billions upon billions, approaching trillions, compounding to trillions. Isn't it fun? Isn't 2025 a fun place to be? We can have World War III pop off and then not pop off within a matter of 4 days, and daddy or daddy's sugar baby, I'm not sure which, is out there just writing checks our asses can't cash.
It's a reality TV show. That's a new politics right now, and I mean, we know that Trump is a big reality TV guy, so enjoy the show.
Yeah, we do seem to be in reality TV land. We've been joking for the complete decade of the show about idiocracy, which of course has become very commonplace thing to reference in the doom scrolls of the social medias. But yeah, it is feeling more and more idiocracy every time, isn't it?
Oh, it is, especially in Congress. It's actually even more pathetic.
Oh man, don't get us started on them. I have given Congress so many chances, man, over the years. Ever since I started paying attention, it's like, okay, I'll give them a chance until they screw up, and then a couple more people will come out. And it's like, okay, they're based. I'll give them a chance. Give them a chance for a couple of years, and they all tank it eventually, man.
It's all a show, dude, and it's sadly, it's seriously. I'm not joking, but the IQ level of the Congress right now combined is really pretty freaking low.
Oh, it's bad.
It was exception of few, maybe.
It's bad. Like
Yeah.
I've had a few conversations with Patrick Henningsen, where we just weren't mincing words and saying, you know what, the majority of these people are geopolitically illiterate. Like
Mhm.
they literally don't know more than your average CNN, MSN, LSD/Fox viewer.
Yeah, they just sit there and get their talking points, and they get their checks, and they go home.
Although
And what I love now too, like all the women that just come to Congress with their freaking like babies. Just like it just a show, dude.
it is. It's like a big dog and pony show at this point. I don't know if I can
Mhm.
ever give any of them another chance. I mean, Thomas Massey is sort of the only one right now. I'm kind of like, all right, you're doing all right. Keep it up, man.
Yeah,
I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene too, but like I've disliked so many things about her up until this point that it's kind of like, okay, now she's like just putting some counterbalance on the other side, but she's been a
but you
little
see what
baby.
changed? It's you don't know if it's an actor. None of these guys. Look at her track record; it's not consistent, and I think 2026 is going to be really a big awakening to the Republican Party.
I agree. I think that we as Americans, Mystical Pharaoh, should start some sort of initiative or start passing bills that make it such that if someone is going to be representing people, citizens here in the United States, that it should be a matter of public record. Like there should be a more fine-grained amount of public record viewing that people can do on who funds them, who funded their campaigns. Like I know a lot of this is available, but I think we should all have also a right to their PR activities. I think if someone's going to rebrand, the American people should know they're going to rebrand and not just be psyoped by some A&R flunkies managing Tulsi Gabbard or whoever and writing a new narrative for them. Like I think that should be patently illegal somehow. I'm not sure how we get there, but we need to get rid of that.
I agree with you, and I think like they, you know, all dual citizens should be banned from running to office.
That too, man.
Period. All non-U.S. born citizens should not run to office. Um, should not hold office, and I think that's only fair.
Yeah. The
It's kind
districting and zoning could be fixed like in a millisecond too. We could fix the zoning and districting in the United States in a way that would just remove opportunities for corruption, not just voting corruption, but like racial corruption, neighborhood corruption, class corruption, political corruption. Like a lot of that stuff thrives because of the way they divide up the districts and all that. But we could fix this, man. We know all the names that we need to know to fix the financial aspects, the political aspects, the cultural aspects, the theological aspects, maybe even a more difficult one. I think we could get pretty close to under our paradigm. But and Donald Trump said he wanted to drain the swamp, but I don't see him drain the swamp, man. I see a lot of swamp creatures getting rebranded, added, behaving badly, and I don't see the policies changing. Like if you really want to drain the swamp, you have to change the policies so that in a long term, they can't be abused. But it seems like they're just, opening up new routes to abuse with their big, beautiful bill and all that.
Yeah, it's there's so much shit in that bill. We're not gonna even know until we see it.
There's some good stuff in there too, man. You're right. There's so much stuff in there. Nobody's read it all. There's some good stuff, especially for my 2A people out there. There's much hope to be had for the first step toward removing suppressors and short-barreled shotguns and short-barrel rifles from the odious NFA. But the way that they've written it into the bill, I did look into this part of the bill. The way that they've written it into the bill is probably, well, it has the potential to benefit states that are pro 2A, like your state and my state. But it also has the ability, just because they're not changing the policy, they're simply removing definitions that the ATF can use. It has the potential to make our friends in places like Washington and California continue to lose a lot of their Second Amendment rights as pertains to suppressors and short barrel rifles and shotguns.
Yeah, and I don't know if they care about that.
Well, I have a theory about it. We'll get into that though. Let me get everybody else into the room here. Let's welcome the proprietor of the fantastic, educational, entertaining, and inquisitive Based Lit Analyzer channel here on YouTube. We have the man himself, Based Lit Analyzer. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up, y'all? How's it going? Wow, what a crazy week. They call me daddy. That's right. They called me daddy.
Taco Daddy.
Yeah, there's two ready-made memes that happened this week. That and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know that.
Yeah.
Those were firing off. They had green screens behind them almost immediately. So, plus White House came out with their "Daddy's Home" music video when he reappeared from whatever the conference was. So yeah. It's,
my
crazy,
God.
Crazy times.
Infantilizing. Who would have thunk, you guys, that infantilizing you've spent all this time building up the Trump brand through all these different phases, and now it's second term of presidents of the United States of America, and we're getting stuff like Daddy's Home. We're getting like taco memes. We're getting a genocide that has not been stopped, but he's going to stop it. We're getting, teetering on the edge of World War III, basically, nudging up against that same vibe we had in the summer of 2020 with, the reaction to the ICE raids and all that. I mean, this is a crazy, crazy narrative that's been wrapped around this dude, and it's funny that he got here based on like conservative Christian values, and people are cheerleading for preemptive strikes. They're cheerleading for preemptive strikes based on strictly on word of mouth from intel agencies after all the times we've been screwed over by that geopolitically over the years. They're cheerleading for the panopticon of Palantir. They're cheerleading for being infantilized and this hero complex. I mean, my goodness, man. This is not what the campaign was. This is not what it was built on. It was built on independence and American values. And now it's just
built on no war. Partly built
war.
on no war. And there's a huge split, I think, happening with people. For people like me or us, I don't know. It seems like a vindication from the very beginning of why you don't put your stock in these people, why you have no faith in your vote harder system, because it seems like it was bound to happen. But I mean, his statement today on his Truth Social about Bibi and this guy needs to get reelected. He's facing his whole thing about the country in the Middle East and about that guy is just more shameful. I mean, it's like when people say like, oh, they thought he lost his mind. I mean, I mean, it's to be expected that this sort of stuff would happen, and kiss the wall and all that stuff. But This is like on a whole other level. And the, like, people always say the cognitive dissonance of dropping the BOMB and then being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Also, the daddy thing kind of reminds me of the last time we heard that, remember, was Pastor Manning. Remember that guy? He's kind of reappeared. Maybe I just haven't paid attention, but I was to him for a long time. But he's
out there with
reappeared.
John Hagee too.
He's the long-legged Mac Daddy. Remember? That's the last time we heard that was about Obama, and now it's coming in. It has a different context this time. But yeah, things are crazy. They're heating up. What can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, exactly, man. All right, let's welcome the Ruckus among us. We got Ruckus joining us right now, Mr. Adam Clark, the man behind the Daily Ruckus, who of course can be found on Weaponized News and right here in the Boiler Room and on Sunday Wire and other places. Ruckus, what's up? Welcome to the Boiler Room.
Howdy. This whole Trump daddy thing. I'm cool with that as long as they're not trying to go with the stepdaddy thing, because if they were, it'd probably look something more like that, right? Like stepdaddy's home. Oh no, we're in trouble now, right? He's getting their mind.
He looks like he should be leaning up against a fence with the King of the Hill guys.
This might actually be one of my favorite grok generated images of Trump yet, and I don't even know why. I can't remember why I made. Oh, I do remember. It was because there was some somebody was making some snide commentary, or it was a clever meme about who or what was going to cause trouble or this or that, and it did not include politics or this guy. So I was like, Trump says, "Hold my beer." So there you go, like me implying that Trump's about to cause a bigger problem than, say, the LGBT groups or the Antifas or the Trantifas, and I'm like, yeah, we got to watch out for this guy causing trouble in the Middle East, causing trouble at the UN, causing trouble all over the place. I don't get it. Daddy's home. Get out of here with that. And of course, he's acting like the true statesman. After dropping the F-bomb, at least he's contributing to the swear jar. He has not contributed to our swear jar.
I haven't seen the check yet.
Yeah, we'll double check. But if you folks want to donate to the ACR swear jar on his behalf, feel free to do so, especially if your name's Elon Musk. And we want to see lots of zeros behind those pennies, right? Anyways, so this is, I got a new background going on. I'm just like checking it out. I hope you guys like it. Got a lot of new things happening. A lot of new appearances coming up and a return of the Daily Ruckus next month. So exciting if we all make it that far, because holy moly, it's like it's on and off again with the World War III thing. This is worse than the tariffs, guys. I'm glad Trump always changes his mind as far as the World War III stuff goes, but he's changing his mind on being involved with the United Nations, the climate stuff, this and that. So I don't know, but we track all of that here, and we're probably going to track some of it this evening. So I can't wait to do that. Thanks for having me.
No, he's just winning, man. Whenever it looks like he's changing his mind, he's just winning. It's just like, boom, boom, fakey, hut, winning. I think he's just winning everything. And that's one of those accepted narratives that I was talking about in the opening monologue there. Like, there's a lot of people out there right now that are just fully engaged in the voodoo calculus of 4D chess. Like, yes, this is awesome. He did this, he did that. It's like there's this faux checklist that he's got, like, stop the war in Somalia, stop the war in Kenya, working on stopping that war in Ukraine. We'll put a circle on that one. Still working on that.
We're going to stop the corrupt trial of Bibi. Oh, wait,
stop the corrupt trial of Bibi. Oh my God, you guys, look at this. I recommend, by the way, before I bring my lovely co-host in here soon, that everybody check out. It's available now. The free movie called The Bibi Files. Give it a watch. It's a couple hours long. It's about an hour and 45 minutes long. It'll take a little bit of your time, but break it into a couple chunks if you're busy. It's definitely worth a watch. It's available for free. There's a article by Alexis Bloom up at needtoknow.news, many articles at many sites about it, and it's available right here. A film by Alexis Bloom, reposted
YouTube?
by Nathan Milkowski. What's that, Infidels? Mr.
On YouTube free?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, man. I'm gonna link it
cool.
on the show page.
Awesome.
Hour and 53-minute
I wanted to watch it. Cool.
full documentary. So definitely some context that everybody should take in, especially as Trump is making these comments about forgiving Bibi, because
You've seen it, Usher?
Sorry, what?
You saw it?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it.
I can't even remember his first name. What's his real name?
Oh, I forget too. It ain't Bibi though.
No, it is not. It's like a
Benjamin.
European name, like a weird, like
Was it
Russian
Ruckus?
sounding name.
I thought it was Benjamin.
Oh, it's Benjamin. Yeah. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
biblical. Yeah.
It's a biblical
Okay.
name, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot.
No,
I can't remember.
I just can't
he's-
figure out why everyone calls him Bibi. That's all.
Because it makes him sound relatable and cute, and because it's like baby, and because he's the other guy's daddy, and they've been playing too rough in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Which seems like something the media would shy away from saying.
And if you
Right.
combine Bibi and Daddy, you get Diddy. So there you go.
There you go. That's the real president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me welcome the one, the only, the very lovely keeper of all things Whiskey Tango Foxtrot on the interwebs. Lovely Spore joining us. Spore, welcome to the boiler room. How you doing?
I'm great. I just realized I was not on mute, so I don't know if you've heard the dogs wrestling in the background.
No, I didn't hear any of that. You're good.
Cool.
You were backstage, so it's all you guys.
Cool. Well, happy to be here with you guys. Do you want to make the noise?
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose I probably should, because it is icebreaker time, and that's what you're here for. So, Spore, what do you got for us this week to kick off with before we jump into all this other crazy stuff?
So this one's from Photon, and there was actually a number of great icebreakers in there, and I appreciate everybody that puts those in there. But I guess this is the one that I chose. So Ozzy Osbourne is going to be doing one of his last shows in England at the Birmingham's Villa Park, I think in a month or something like that. And he has decided to sell his DNA to superfans. So he partnered up with not Black Rifle. It was Liquid Death, the same one that who's the other dude, Brian, that the old Jackass guy promotes.
Oh, Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve-O. He's always got his Liquid Death. So it's like kind of like a seltzer with caffeine. But apparently Ozzy like drank out of like a number, like 10 of these cans, and like then they put like it's kind of confusing to me. It sounds like he drank out of each of these cans, and then they like repackaged it, and they are selling these cans that he's drinking out of for this like tiny amount of DNA that he can share on to his fans so that Ozzy can live forever. And it was like saying like you can have Ozzy mow your lawn later on in life. It didn't make any sense to me, and it sounds really gross. Honestly, it's like trace amounts of his saliva are going to be in these drinks, and for the 10 people that purchase them, it's going to be $450, but they can feel like Ozzy is never dying. He's going to live on forever because he's sharing his DNA with these 10 people.
I do not want to have Ozzy DNA.
I know, right? Like, I mean,
imagine
honestly,
how fucked up that would be.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, there's that, but like also like when I first saw it, like I'm thinking like he's like donating his sperm so like people can have little Ozzy babies, and I'm like, all right, well, he's talented. I mean, it's kind of elderly sperm. But like that kind of like makes sense, but like he's gonna drink out of a drink that you're gonna drink, and therefore you're gonna have like everlasting Ozzy DNA to put out into the world. Like,
Mama, I'm coming home. Ozzy Oz to be born.
Did Jason Unchained? Look at this. Wait,
bit a
wait.
liquid death can in half and cut his mouth on it, and
Dude,
spit
look
his
at this
blood
comment.
everywhere.
Ozzy and Biden have the same handlers.
Apparently, I mean, here's the other thing is like 10 cans at $450 is $4,500. Like, I don't think that is like an amount of money that Ozzy needs at this point in his life. Like, why is he doing this? Like, what do they have on him to force him into a situation where he's like, yeah, I'll drink out of a can and I'm going to sell it to you for $450. And the other thing is, like, recently, I think it was within the last year, like, Ozzy specifically said that he hates being sober. He likes to be, to drink and do drugs, and that he's not going to be sober anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Sharon still manage him?
He's selling it. I mean, yeah, sure. I would think. I mean, what do you think, Brian?
Oh yeah, Sharon manages him. I imagine she
She
probably manages the managers. She's the overall business manager, and is the person that's always kept him on stage and on camera when he needs to be. But
so what do you think, like, from her angle, why would she be doing this? Like, they don't need $5,000. You know what I mean?
To stay relevant, and they probably do need the money. I mean, they always need the money.
I would disagree on that one. I have a different take. I think there's no problem with Ozzy's relevance. Ozzy is going to be relevant forever, like the Beatles. He's unfortunately, in his older age, but he is going to be a legend forever. There's no question about that. He's going to be a money generating vehicle for his children and his children's children, and his great grandchildren, probably. There's really no problem there. But I would say, to the question of what's up with the only $5,000 sub $5,000, that's not what Ozzy's getting paid. Ozzy's probably getting paid $10 million for that.
From Liquid Death.
Yeah, because they're gonna market other products around it, and they actually have them, like, they'll be trademarked and branded on any weird shenanigans that come out of it in the future. Like, this is easy to laugh off, but they just brought back dire wolves, and they're gonna bring back woolly mammoths and shit like that. So they could literally bring Ozzy back in 20 years, and Liquid Death will probably have their trademark on him, along with Kelly Osbourne and Jack Osbourne and Michelle Osbourne. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
there's more to it.
Oh, totally. No, thank you. You explained the hell out of that for me.
But you have to take that all with a grain of salt, because you have to believe that they resurrected a dire wolf and that they can resurrect anything with this DNA. And you also have to take it with a grain of salt, as my comment on the YouTube is inferring here, implying, I suppose. Sorry. He didn't do jack shit. This is not some fancy DNA thing. This is not
no.
It's just what we used to call backwash. The dude is selling his fucking backwash for $4,000 a pop. This is the most ridiculous.
I'm probably going to
tell me like the class division warfare. Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There are still children starving to death in Gaza, is my point. And Ozzy is the dude who allegedly bit the head off of a bat. You're telling me now he's trying this new scheme where it's a little like, oh, you get my DNA share. I'm like, of course, this is obvious. So, and Hesher's right. He's getting paid much more. It has nothing to do with the price per the pop thing or whatever it is.
Look, and then at that point, it's like, I mean, why even, like, who are these 10 fucking people that are, pardon my language, but, like, who are these 10 people that are going to be like, oh, I'm going to pay $450 for a caffeinated seltzer because Ozzy might have saliva in it. Like, I feel like this should be a reality show. Like, let's like interview these people and like figure out their like thought waves into getting into this and being like, yeah, I'm going to spend my money on backwash.
It would make more sense if it was Haktua's backwash.
Oh God.
Are they just gonna drink it, or what are they gonna do with it?
Let's see if we can
I
like
imagine. I guess I'm imagining they will put it. They'll like have a little one of those like glass shelves in their offices or whatever, and like put it up there and like hold on to it forever and be like, I've got Ozzy's DNA.
let's see if maybe the dreaded mirror can add some more context here. Introducing infinitely recyclable Ozzy by Liquid Death. These cans of low-calorie iced tea with B vitamins have each been drunk by Ozzy himself. And each can contains trace DNA from Ozzy's saliva as well as his handwritten signature. Now, once technology and federal law permits, you can replicate Ozzy and enjoy him for hundreds of years into the future.
What?
This is like one of those like joke almost. It's like pretty much a joke, I think. It says just imagine if you could bring back early 80s Ozzy. He can mow your lawn, perform at kids' birthday parties, or anything you want. So get your can of infinitely recyclable Ozzy. No, this is not a joke. Yes, these contain Ozzy's actual DNA. There are only 10 available. Act now. Each can was sealed in an airtight container to quote unquote preserve the DNA. Ozzy said, quote, clone me, you bastards, ahead of Black Sabbath's next show. Their last show this coming month. Ozzy recently confirmed that Back to the Beginning, which is the name of the show, will be available to live stream for fans who struggle to get tickets. That's us. Let's see here. Yep, there he is drinking.
Wait, how can he mow? I mean, if you drink somebody else's saliva, how can that somehow lead to that person mowing your lawn?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's where the big joke is here. There's like a weird science aspect that they are saying here, and they're like, oh, if you happen to be the one lucky person that gets a usable piece of Ozzy's DNA, you don't ever unseal it, you don't ever drink off of it. Just maybe you could clone Ozzy in your new DNA printer from the year 2032 or whatever.
So this is like the Congress sort of almost. I mean, like it's not like an. I don't know. This is really hard to conceptualize.
It's like a giant grift. It's a giant grift.
I
Liquid
get
Death
it now. Yeah.
itself is a giant grift. They actually
water.
They have it's water. It's like
water.
Caffeinated
Some flavors.
seltzer.
Yeah, but it's blessed by a witch.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'm serious.
I knew something was weird about this.
wait,
I always
what?
wondered why they effing call it liquid death in the first place. Like, who wants to drink that? Hey, would you like to drink something called death? Yes, please. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's like the kind of supposedly healthy version of like a Monster because it doesn't have any sugar or artificial sugars in it, but it has a bunch of caffeine. And apparently, if you get a special one, it has. I mean, when I honestly like figured he was selling a semen when I saw that he was selling his DNA, and it's like, no, it's his backwash. Like, not that like I would be interested in either, but just like when it at least like actual semen could actually create another life if there was somehow to pull it out of a soda can.
Yeah, it says Grim Leafer, Rest in Peach, and Dead Billionaire contain a microdose of 30 milligrams of natural caffeine from black tea. The rest has no caffeine. It's just mountain water.
Yeah.
It's very well
Ugh.
marketed mountain water.
Yeah, it is well marketed.
Well, check it out.
It's clearly
Perfect for their
weird
music
people.
festival.
Yeah.
Here we go. There's you can search for
Ugh.
Liquid Death blessed by witch, and you'll get all kinds of articles coming up. I can't speak for the veracity of any of these websites. I don't know any of them, but there's a whole torrent of this stuff out there. Liquid Death, the canned water was cursed by a witch for Halloween. Quench your thirst, but not your soul. Canned water brand Liquid Death hired practicing witch to cast a hex on its October stock.
What?
Right there, 2019. Consumers of certified cursed liquid death will become "quote unquote" magnets for demons.
God.
I think
And
we
they
found
offer the
the
spill to
origin
undo
of
it.
the
They
pandemic,
offer
everybody.
they offer the spill to undo it for 99 cents. So they are really, yeah, they are really very creative in their marketing. They are
Yeah.
really, it's
Serious
just
about that,
purely
though?
marketing. This, yeah.
Wow. That's next level. But I mean, they're kind of playing on that thing that we've probably talked about here and there over the years. But like the whole like how you can bless your water and make it healthier for you if you like talk to your water before. I mean, they have like it was in like what was that movie? It's like these quantum physics movies. Like
What the
which one
bleep
I'm
do
talking.
we know?
Yeah,
Is
it
the
was
movie,
it
and
was
you're
might have that it
referring
was I think
to
it
the
was that
water
one.
crystal guy?
Yeah,
It's
and there was
messages in
another
water.
one.
Yeah.
No,
No, not Shape of Water. That was the Guillermo del Toro movie.
Messages in Water, not Shape of Water. It's Messages in Water was the name of the book by the Japanese scientist where they talked to it was
Yeah.
this university. They talked to the glasses of water, and then he froze the water and examined the crystals
Yeah,
and the
and
happy and evil. Yeah.
we know somebody that literally like says. I mean, he does this. He actually freezes the water and he gives it a blessing before he drinks it, or his family drinks it. Like, and I mean, he's actually not the only person that I've met. I mean, some other huge YouTube streamers that I won't actually like say the name right now because it's kind of like an old reference, but they have videos out like where they actually like tested this stuff out and like looked at the actual crystals. So like to say that like a witch is, I mean, basically putting a bad curse on their seltzer water, like how is that a good marketing tactic? Like that just seems like okay, I know like right now once I heard that, I'm never touching that stuff again. Like I have like one of those little like, things that puts seltzer or soda into my water and I can put lemon juice in it and I'll stick to that. I do not need a liquid death.
Yeah.
The words on the can can cause the same effect as talking to it, by the way. So
Well,
I definitely wouldn't drink it.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that like if you put like the words on your glass of water or whatever, like your intentions, that it supposedly changes like the shape of the molecules.
Well,
There's
you
plenty
remember
of studies about the human body and how we interact with each other and its effect on us because we are mostly composed of water. So I've seen some various experiments and tried it out myself that involved writing messages on my body. I think about people who have tattoos that say things like "kill," "death," and all these horrible images and things, and I'm like, that's probably
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. So what how did your experiments go?
It was actually successful. It helped. I had to go without smoking for like a 2-week period because of where I was in my situation, and I had somebody write words on my back. I didn't know exactly what they were, but I gave them a specific set of instructions. So they were things, if I'm not mistaken, that just said simple words like healthy, clean, clear, and it was written on my back to where I couldn't see it, and it was just to see. So it was literally just the words affecting the water molecules inside my body was the ultimate goal.
That's
Yep.
cool. Good for you.
I remember back in like 2018 or 19, somewhere in there, seeing Melissa and Aaron over at TruthStream do an experiment on their YouTube. They did a video
Okay, that's what I was
experiment.
talking about.
Remember that? Yeah, where they like they had like a bag of rice, like wet rice or something like that, or they like abused one container of water and then were really nice to another one and they put them in rice or something like that. It was interesting. Definitely felt like there was something going on there. Messages from Water is available on the YouTubes right here where we are.
I don't think it was what the bleep though. It was like the
No, there's
like,
another one. There's a
it-
third one that Spore and I watched.
yeah.
It's in that wheelhouse, but it was featured in that documentary as well.
Yep.
I have the book of the guy that was part of the other one.
There's also a lot of similar to Rife technology. There's also all of that going on.
Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, Dr. Dispenza, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was he was on the Gaia network, I think, like back when Jay was on there.
That still exist?
I don't know. I haven't been there. Yeah, that's right. Boy, he's good. Wow, he's well marketed. I'm just looking at his website now.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like he charges something like $50 a meditation. And he's got like probably like 1,000 on there. Like, and you can't just buy the library. His advertisements are very incredible. Like, you just get like, I'd be like, I had to get a pedicure the other day and like just tap on like a sponsored ad or whatever, and then I'm like an hour into one of his podcasts where it leads to a commercial of like
nice funnel,
something that like cleans your pineal gland.
We all want to clean pineal gland. Here's what you get just to round out this liquid death thing. That's what your $4,500 investment looks like right there. An empty can of liquid death that Ozzy Osbourne has taken a sip off of or drank in the whole
Those are going to end up on Pawn Stars.
Yeah, dude.
And he signed it, so like you get an autograph too.
Boy, his autograph doesn't look the way it used to. I can tell.
I can do $5 for each one.
Best I can do.
It's an auto pen.
Auto pen.
You got to put it to the pro scope, like on Pawn Stars.
Yeah. But I don't know. This is also just great advertising. Not that they need to advertise this this last show. This last show is going to be epic AF. If anyone in our viewing or listening audience is going to that,
Lamb of God playing from Richmond.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow.
There's so many good bands playing. It is crazy. Slayer's coming back to play that. Pantera's going to be there. It's going to be amazing. And
so what does he do? Does he just like lip sync at this age? Is there any way he performs?
I think he sings. Yeah,
he's on it, dude. He does need. I believe that he needs a pretty large teleprompter for his lyrics. But I mean,
and
whatever.
A thick drink. Or his Vicodin,
some Vicodins and a couple of
whatever they give Biden,
for sure.
Right?
Maybe cocaine. Who knows?
Yeah,
some of
for
the
sure.
The Zelensky special, the Sean Penn stuff.
Oh man, woo! Zelensky's been throwing parties lately. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm excited that we get to see the final gig on live streaming. I'm definitely going to check that out. I want to see that. That's going to be heavy metal history right there. That's sort of the bookend on many years, like the whole history of metal.
I don't believe in any of the other stuff. I only believe in water blessed by a priest, and I think that but I do think this is a gimmick. That is my friend Technor Graphics Mikhail made a good point earlier about this is sort of blowing water in the face of all the people who couldn't go to concerts 5 years ago and had to stay apart, and now you're buying the literal DNA of the person. But it reminds me of Lil Nas X and his thing with buying the blood and the Nikes 5 years ago. Remember that? But at least this is like outright. It's like you've got Ozzy Osbourne. It's a can of liquid death. There's fans, and they want to buy the thing. Fine,
they'll sell fast.
But the Lil Nas X thing was like under the veneer of this is normal. This is not under the veneer of this is normal. This is normal and fine for people who are going to the concert or Ozzy fans. But they know what they're doing. But buying a pair of blood shoes from Lil Nas X and saying it's normal is like.
Yeah,
is more insidious, I think.
Yeah, no, totally. And shout out to Mikhail, Technor Graphics too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is B-level horror movie stuff, you know. This is like fanboy stuff. Like this is really not that serious. And if for some reason you do drink or buy Liquid Death, don't worry about their witches. Their witches have nothing on you. You just tell that water that you love it very much and you hope it was treated well before it got to you. You'll be fine.
Or it's
Or
like getting this sweat bandanas from Elvis. Remember they'd have
Yeah.
women lined up, like 100
Yeah.
women lined up, like with his, you know, he'd be throwing handkerchiefs out into the audience with his fat sweat on him.
Yeah, and that's just like, I mean, dudes buy women's used underwear out of vending machines in Japan. Like, like, I don't understand. I mean, it's out of my realm. I don't get why somebody would want somebody's dirty stuff. Like, I love Hesher and I don't mind sharing drinks with him, but I'm certainly like not trying to like get extra of his saliva in my drink, you know? You're on mute.
you better not clone me or get me to try to get me to mow your lawn in 30 years either.
Sorry.
Don't clone me, bro.
Don't clone me.
Have you guys seen the Osbourne Want to Believe show he did with his wife and his kid?
I saw some stuff he did with Jack, but I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, what he used to watch to show them like some like horror clips or like ghost clips, and they rate it.
Okay.
It was an entertaining show.
I've been I love Ozzy, man. I've been entertained by Ozzy most of my adult life in all various different forms. I don't like some of the stuff Sharon does and says, and I feel sorry for her. Currently, she looks like she is a victim of the Ozempic fad, if you will. The Ozempic
She looks like the
scam.
spokesperson for Liquid Death.
Yeah, she does. I mean, you know, she was big on the plastic surgery and all that over the years. That's fine. That
I
was
think she started with like, I think she got like the gut stapling or something like that to start, and then went on to the plastic surgery. So she's been doing these alterations to her physical body for like decades.
yeah. The Ozempic comes along though later in life and just like it really it sinks all the flesh down to where all you can see is the like the implants and the stretching and everything. Like I feel I don't know. I hope that she's achieved the look that she wants. I guess I'll leave it at that. I don't want to be mean, but God, she's been terrible to so many musicians that have been in Ozzy's band. Like she's gone as far as having studio musicians come in and re-record albums and re-release them just so that she doesn't have to pay guys that actually played on the original albums. Like there's been some shady business stuff with her. I'll hand it to her for being shrewd, though. She definitely knows how to stay on top of the pile. But wow, the effects of that drug are just mind-boggling.
Look at that picture I just posted.
Oh, you got one I can put on the screen? I'm looking at one in the Discord right now. It's just freaky. Oh, back in the day. This is how I want to remember Ozzy and Sharon, probably. Look at that. Look at that. I just want to pinch Ozzy's cheek. Those are great. And I'm getting the error I get from StreamYard sometimes. So that's cool. All right. Well, anyone else want to comment on Ozzy? I don't think anybody is going to be able. My final comment is I don't think anybody's going to be able to recreate Ozzy with what they got there. That was a one and done. I'm sorry. There's only one Ozzy Osbourne. Even if you could make a clone of that man, it would not be anywhere close. Same with Lemmy, same with Dio, and so many others. All of us, for that matter.
Isn't the last name of the Spider-Man villain the Green Goblin Osborne?
Yeah, I believe it is.
That's interesting too.
Yeah.
Osbourne song Mr. Crowley, Crowley's book, Lieber Oz. Huh? I don't know.
Yeah.
He should have called it No More Tears, right? Right? There you go.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Spore. Thanks, Photon, for dropping that one. I always enjoy chewing the fat about Ozzy, and I'm kind of excited for the upcoming final show here. I wish I could be there in person. We asked the audience, we asked you guys to get us tickets, and you know what I got? I got nothing. I got the most metal present you could possibly imagine. Fucking nothing. So thanks a lot, you guys. We won't see you at the show because of that awesome metal present you gave us. Nothing.
I like Dio more than Ozzy. Yeah.
Love Dio, man.
Good stuff.
All right. Okay. Spore, do you have anything else you want to throw out there? Anyone else have anything they want to throw out there about that before we move on? Nope. Going once, going twice. All right.
No.
All right.
You guys.
So that leaves us with what does that leave us with, you guys? That leaves us with the Doom Scroll. That leaves us with the news feed, I suppose. And how much has happened since we were here a week ago? I think we were here on calendar last week on Thursday, right? Like we did a show on Thursday, and I'm just a little.
We may have come full circle to exactly where we were last week, actually.
Right. We're back to question mark mode. Like last week, we shut the show down in question mark mode. Like, oh, well, wait and see. Maybe we'll be kissing our asses goodbye, or someone will. And then it was like, oh, it's happening. People are kissing their asses goodbye. And then it was like, no, never mind. And then it was like, everybody's going, we did such a great job. And then it was like, it's over. I mean, that's where we're at. If I could put it in the most like dumbed down summary as possible, I feel like that's where
we
we're
bombed
at.
Iran. Everyone thought that was going to spark World War III. But Trump daddy saved the day with a ceasefire between Iran and Israel, although both Israel and Iran said there's no such thing as a ceasefire. Trump kept insisting there was one. And then, of course, whether or not there was one and whether or not it was before or after the ceasefire or whether or not it was on purpose or by mistake, Iran accidentally launched a missile somewhere in Israel that didn't even kill anybody, apparently. And Israel responded, and Trump got mad and had to put money in the swear jar because he said they don't know what the F they're doing. But from where it stands now, I guess everything's cool. And they've decided to reignite the Ukraine-Russia thing for now to keep everybody scared about a pending World War III. That's that's basically where we are.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we're back to the big beautiful bill. We're back to Trump's primarying Massey.
Yeah. He's terrible.
We have the pending threat still again of what could probably be a false flag, but maybe not. Maybe it's a genuinely organically inspired Muslim terror event coming soon, probably because some socialist Muslim mayor might get elected somewhere or something. So we got that kind of stuff going on as usual.
Sleeping
Nothing
cell.
seems to change, does it? Right? It's getting weird. I saw Spore posted something somewhere I hadn't been in a long time, so it must have been Instagram, I'm guessing, or Facebook. Spore, did you share a story from like 10 years ago or more, like a long time ago, that said "Don't bomb Iraq," and then you said, "Update: Don't bomb Iran"?
She did. She stepped out, but yes, her and I had a long conversation about that while she was posting it. Yes, and how timely was that?
This is all like, yeah. I'm like, what year is this? I have to keep asking myself every time I wake up. Maybe we're stuck in some sort of time loop. That'd be weird.
Yeah. Her and I also had a conversation about John McCain and the old, like the original footage, where bomb Iran came from. And
Trump posted on his Truth Social, by the way.
Yeah, and then less than 48 hours later, Trump posts it like a souped up version of it, and we're just like, our jaws just dropped today. We're like, what the? How can this? Like, you're gonna have this terrible of policy and this terrible of actions, and then post something like that. It was just like, wow, holy shit. That was crazy.
He's the president of peace, everybody.
Yeah. No, but we can hold on to it, bro, because he stopped the war. He stopped the war between two boiler rooms in less than 7 days. It's all him. He did it. Woo! And like he was
Who's
just
your
on there
daddy?
on the tarmac, like right before the American bombs started dropping, saying, counting all the wars that he stopped and all the promises. And today he's out there saying that when I signed the big beautiful bill, all campaign promises will be kept. I think that's ultimately like today. This is what I think that is happening. Like this is like we've talked about everybody else rebranding themselves. Well, Trump's rebranding of himself started the day in Butler when he was allegedly shot in his lobe. It heals fast. Shot in the lobe. God save me. You know what I mean? Like that was the moment that has led to this moment where in just a few days, I mean, he's already saying it, but in just a few days, he and Caroline Levitt and everybody will be saying, stop this war, stop that war, stop this one, killed the deep state with the big, beautiful bill. You know what I mean? It's just like all campaign promises fulfilled. Boom. America. We did it. We made America great again. Yet the swamp still exists. The treaties are all paper tigers. The militaries themselves are all paper tigers. The media is a much bigger weapon than any first tier military at this point. The social media feed is maybe an even bigger one. The technocracy marches on. The financial collapse still looms. The next rollout of the pandemic industrial complex still looms. Cyber Polygon still looms. Gain of function shenanigan wannabe stories still loom. Sleeper cell stories still loom. You know what I mean? It's just like
Laura still looms.
Laura's still loomering.
Did you see that whole dog food thing?
No, what was that?
Like a Democrat, like liberal, basically they made a fake sponsor.
It's an old story, by the way, but go ahead.
Huh?
The Cavi shared this in the Discord, and me and him did a lot of research into it. It's actually an old story, but it just went viral again recently for a damn good reason, because Laura Loomer's been acting a fool. But go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, so he sponsored her and got her to eat like dog food on air.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that actually. Yeah.
Allegedly, some guy, at least, so it started out, I guess somebody claims that this is what he did. So this has been unproven, apparently. So I don't know. That says a lot right there if they have to come out and fact check it. But the guy claims that he secretly started a fake dog food company and then bought a bunch of cans of Alpo, repackaged it, and passed himself the company office being like, it's safe, natural ingredients, and that you as a human can eat this dog food. And then he paid, this is what he said too, is that he paid Laura Loomer only something like $100 for a paid ad sponsorship to eat the dog food on camera and recommend it. So he was claiming that he tricked her all this whole way and paid her $100 to basically eat dog food. So I'm thinking it might be just a troll post. That I think the joke is that he's claiming that he did that. Or if he did, holy crap, that dude is like, that's genius level right there.
Oh man. No. All right, let's see here. What does
Hey, can we play that if you have a minute? Just speaking about NATO today. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I know I had this in my bookmarks too. So speaking of the party at Zelensky's place, right?
That's right.
This is
the goodies.
Oh my God.
Party favors?
The goodies.
Italian Prime Minister Meloni's actions at the NATO summit have gone viral. Let me share this. Hopefully my audio has fixed itself here since I killed that last browser. You guys interrupt and tell me if you can't hear this, but here's the footage. Look at those eyeballs. They are
geeked out.
bugging, geeked out.
Yeah.
So geeked. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
All right.
Questo conclude un vertice importante, tanto chiaramente per gli impegni. Un messaggio molto importante. Mi pare di avervi detto tutto.
Non c'è stata la reazione di Trump.
Su una politica espansiva.
Presidente, ma noi come faremo a produrre proiettili per
Non mi pare che risolviamo grandi problemi.
l'opposizione diceva che l'Italia avrebbe potuto fare come la Spagna, no?
Scusi, con il presidente Trump è riuscito a parlare ieri sera anche del tema dati.
Yo, she is yacked out, bro.
Dude.
It's crazy. Damn, she geeking. Oh shit. Okay.
If you watch the whole thing without them like slowing it down and reversing the parts, you can tell anybody, a kindergartner, be like, "What's wrong with that lady?"
I was about to pause
Damn.
and say, I'm super impressed that she has not touched her nose yet. And then she did it.
Yo.
Let's see. There's 20 more seconds. Let's see if she touches her nose one more time. Oh my God, dude. This is bananas.
Più del 10% i dazi. Rieni ha detto che va bene così. D'accordo?
Impegnatissima per ottenere questo risultato.
Aumenti sostenibili, ha detto l'Italia, però parliamo comunque di circa 100 miliardi in 10 anni, così è il calcolo tra sicurezza e difesa.
Dobbiamo andare per rafforzare la colonna europea.
Sì.
Oh my God. She looks like Gollum or something. Just like someone took a Precious. Whew. I had high hopes for her when she stepped in. Now I'm a little concerned.
Well, I mean, she was one. So there is a lot of like branded right wingers in Europe that I think they were put in place to
South and Central America too, huh?
Yeah, just to it carries the same agendas, but just like absorb the people emotions. And she's one of them. And actually, Le Pen is another one too. I don't trust her.
She on that Naples nose candy. That Florentine fire.
Say it again.
That Benito Mussolini.
Yeah, we need people like this to bring Elon Musk gold-plated chainsaws for theatrical moments with Doge. So. Yeah, it's important, I guess. Wow. Yeah, that was Italian Prime Minister Meloni there. A couple people asking who that was in the chat. Prime Minister Italian Prime Minister Meloni. Gacked out. Woo! My goodness. And people weren't joking, right? She was just hanging out with Zelensky before that. Is that factual? Okay. You never know these days. Wow. Burnin' Beard says Maloney is an Aspen Institute agent as well as a Musk minion.
She in Aspen with that Zelensky slope.
Yeah, really. Have you seen this? It's a whole mountain of snow.
So, does anyone have a clip of the lady in the Cheech and Chong movie?
Oh God. No, we need that.
Right.
Yeah, her and Paul Rubin, right?
I'm annihilated, man.
You're the guy from the hamburger train, right? All right, what do we got? Okay, so I'm glad we got that in there. I wanted to make sure we didn't forget that tonight. Liquid Death, Ozzy Osbourne, the Bibi files. If you're just joining us, we'll have links to all these on the show page after the show. All right, let's look at this one. I got a tweet here. David Icke commenting on a Donald J. Trump tweet. This should be fun. I haven't actually read it yet. I just knew it would be fun. David Icke says, owned by Israel, funded by Israel, answers to Israel. Play this out against the quote-unquote ceasefire. It happened because Israel wanted it to happen, and Trump did what he was told to do. Worth a Nobel Peace Prize, I say. And then he quotes a truth post from Donald Trump. So this is what he's responding to when he said that. I was shocked to hear that the state of Israel, which has just had one of its greatest moments in history and is strongly led by Bibi Netanyahu, is continuing its ridiculous witch hunt against their great wartime prime minister. Bibi and I just went through hell together, fighting a very tough and brilliant longtime enemy of Israel, Iran. And Bibi could not have been better, sharper, or stronger in his love. This is caps lock words. For the incredible Holy Land. Anybody else would have suffered losses, embarrassment, and chaos. Bibi Netanyahu was a warrior like perhaps no other warrior in the history of Israel, and the result was something that nobody thought was possible: a complete elimination of potentially one of the biggest and most powerful nuclear weapons anywhere in the world, and it was going to happen soon. We were fighting literally for the blah blah blah. It cuts off right there. But David Icke calls Mr. Trump out on that one without mincing any words. So I thought it was worth bringing up, as that is trending on X right now with I don't know, it's got almost 2,000 likes on it and a pretty healthy comment field, and hundreds of retweets. I'm surprised it's not hundreds of thousands of reposts, but I think he probably is under a lot of the same visibility filters as some of us are.
David Icke must be one of those insane far-right anti-Semitic types, which we're hearing from. There's a lot of beefs that took place this week too. There was two big people that were going at it, and I think it was one of the links that I shared with you earlier today. It might have been, was Mark Levin, right? Isn't that the guy's name? And he went hard against, was it Bannon?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Bannon
I
and
think it
Levin
was.
been going at
Yeah,
it.
that's what it was.
Pharaoh, I know you got to get out of here, man. Any thoughts on that? Like that, what Ruckus just brought up is a perfect example of that fracturing of the the MAGA crew, if you will, that I was talking about earlier. Any thoughts on that, and anything else you want to throw out there before you got to get out of here?
Yeah, Mark Levin is not MAGA. He's an anti-Trumper. A lot of those motherfuckers are anti-Trumper, and they are branded themselves. The new Republican Party, if Trump continued the way he did, he won with a new coalition, right, of people like that were tired of the government. They are not necessarily Republican, right? They came from all factions. Some came with RFK, some came with Tulsi, and some were just politically homeless people like us. But if he's continue like the way he's doing right now, all what he's doing is he's bringing back the Republican, establishment. And what's going to happen, it's going to suck a lot of the actual even Democrats into the Republican Party. They're going to be rejected because I think the Democratic Party is going to go into full mode social, completely left.
So you think they're gonna double and triple down before midterm elections?
I think so. I think right now the Democrats are just betting on Republicans fucking up, which is they're doing a great job fucking up. So
yeah, it's almost like
I think they already pissed everybody off that they want to just get them out of. So I think that's what they are banking on. They don't need to do anything else. But I think that they themselves, the Democrats, they have no agenda whatsoever. But I think that then if you look at the new blood that's coming and them trying to find where they are, I think you'll see that they are gonna just go into the AOC side, right? And you saw in New York that dude, and so you're gonna see more and more of that. And so a lot of the old guard might fall back into the Republican Party, but we'll see how that happens. It's my guess.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, frankly, I'll be happy to get back to lame power politics by next year and be thinking about midterm election trash instead of World War III trash. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Maybe that's pie in the sky.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I would love to see the Republican suffers really defeating loss that just humiliating, because I think people give them the House, they give them the Senate, the presidency, and complete utter failure. And I think I don't know if that Congress will ever really do anything, but I think it's time to just have a stance and just say that enough is enough. I think it's completely, the Congress is just completely useless body right now, and it's been like this for a long time. The interesting piece is when you saw the Democrats coming out and just like, oh, you cannot go to war without like Congress approval. I'm like, you motherfuckers, where have you been
Yeah.
all those years?
How many wars have we
Right?
had since
How
World
many
War II?
wars have you had? And now you're just waking up to that. Right?
Well, it is interesting, that you bring up a good point, because the more ludicrous both sides get, the more people that hold the identity politic on both sides look inward and toward the foundation and toward the Constitution and toward higher powers. You know what I mean? Like they're alienating everybody, but at the same time, if you have the fortitude for it, you're being educated by the constant humiliation, the constant flip-flopping, the constant changing narrative. You know what I mean? Because if you're not beer bonging it into the third eye and just accepting it and you're questioning it, you eventually come to a point where you're looking at founding documents and founding philosophies and overall ethics and theology and things like this. And then, the viewpoint eventually gets to, if you stick with it, gets to the point where someone says, this is literally a uniparty that is being used to psyop us, and entertain us and keep us busy, but its goals march on no matter what we do. And we have a problem with people and policies, but if we just change the people, the policies don't change. And that's the one thing they're showing us right now, that's for sure.
Well, the issue is we're turned into a nation with no plan. There is no long-term plan. There is nobody's capable even of putting a plan, right? And I think that's why we're seeing what we're seeing right now is just it's all like reactions, right? And but really there is no long-term plan. As you said, the financial system is it's inevitable, it's going to collapse, and the question is, when are they going to get us off that dollar and get us to something else, and how? Right, that's the question. It's how. So
they're trying to push this stablecoin bill, dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's another shady thing is like, Trump kids with all of them like getting into bitcoins, right, and pushing for stable coins. That's pretty some shady shit. I don't like it.
Yeah, dude. Trump
It's not too late to buy Bitcoin. You don't have to hate it. You can get in on the early level too. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's down right now. You could get in a little cheap.
Dude, it's crazy, man. This is why you just can't, like, if you look at the cycle of crypto in general, if you look how much it goes up and it goes down, it's almost like I don't know. The whole thing just,
I think that's changing, so don't worry. I think that's going away. It's going to piss a lot of people off, though.
What's going away?
The volatility in most cryptos.
How is it going away?
Because the institutions have taken it over. They're tokenizing everything. The stock market is going to be on the blockchain, and the activity of it's all going to be just like stocks now. It's going to be completely different. The early days of the speculating in wild volatility and making 100x's on your cryptos, this is probably your last chance to be doing any of that, and it's very hard this time around. It's not going to be anything like it used to be. It's completely changed now.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. Just trust. There's a lot of things that have changed. There are companies that now that there are companies who are creating themselves And all they exist for is to just own and hold Bitcoin. That's the company. And now they're listed, they go public, they're listed on the stock market, they get options and opportunities to literally just create money out of thin air. And a lot of this stuff is actually linked together with the big, beautiful bill. This is why Donald Trump is pushing this. He does want to kill the dollar. He does want Jerome Powell badly to start going back from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing. Is that it? And start injecting, lowering the inflation rates and all that shit and all of this fun stuff. And Trump says it so he can help pay off our debt because of Biden or whatever. But it's all, him and his friends and some of the crypto investors and the stockholders are going to make a killing, and everybody else is going to get FUCK-ED'd.
But would you like a Trump phone?
That's right. You can get a Trump phone. Buy some Trump coin now, folks, before that's
Gold.
like $1,000 a pop.
Trump
NFTs. I'm kidding.
Gold plated.
America.
It's gold plated. It's built in America. Not manufactured in America. It's built in America.
Yeah, the world is going to look very different in a couple of years, folks.
We'll give it to you for $400, dude. Come on. I mean, get on the Trump train. Gold phone. Come on.
Unfortunately, we're moving to a place where it won't even be a real phone. It's just a fake phone that you have as an accessory inside the metaverse.
It's a tough sell. It's a
QR
tough sell,
code for a
Mystical
phone.
Pharaoh. Hey, I know you got to get out of here, man. So anything else you want to throw out there before we got to let you go?
Thanks, guys. I'm sorry I had to bail out early, but I'm pretty tired.
That's all right, man. I know you get up early. Appreciate you being here tonight. Sorry we were a little late, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Cheers.
There goes Mystical Pharaoh. Okay, so you were just mentioning this one. The Bannon-Levin clash here shakes conservative foreign policy unity amid Iran tensions. It's not just Bannon too. I've noticed there's like a whole there's like a cadre of top tier broadcasters to include Bannon, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and several others that even like lame like B tier YouTubers like Razor Fist are like trying to do victory laps around them, saying they had like poor analysis during all this and they should have trusted Trump and this kind of messaging. But yeah, Mark Levin has been one of the most psychotic voices. If you follow him on X, it's been quite entertaining.
You mean staunch supporter of Israel? I corrected you. There you go.
Yeah. Putting it lightly. To the point where even his own fans, much like Charlie Kirk, even his own fans ratio them in the comments under the stuff they write. It's crazy. It's like they have more rage fans than actual fans or something.
We have only fans, we have super fans, rage fans, and no fans.
Yeah. I don't know, man. And, for years we see stuff like this happen. It used to be more of a like within the independent and alt media thing, right? Like the squabbles would go on and people would disagree over, hard policy takes or culture wars or whatever. And you would get all these people that would, it's really weird when this kind of thing happens because the audience polarizes and does strange things. Like you'll have a bunch of people taking each side, right? That both of them are saying. But and then you get this third group of people that say, hey, we need to be unified here. We need to get along. The can't we all just get along crowd. And I feel so bad for the can't we all just get along crowd right now because no, sorry, we can't. These, the topic of polarization and fracturization here is so high level, so apex, so biblical, if you will, top of moral heap, if you will, that sorry, I was sorry that can't we all just get along, people? No, it's gonna fracture, it's gonna polarize, and you should enjoy it. Enjoy the drama. That's all you're gonna get out of it is the enjoyment of this. Hopefully we won't get affected with any sort of personal black swan events or austerity over all these things, but that's not off the table either. So enjoy the drama, enjoy it, because it's not happening by accident.
What if this dreaded FF event that we're all suspecting is right around the corner is not the one we were expecting, and it's more like the cyber polygon? They're dropping a lot of these hints that Iran is running around hacking things, and I don't know, man. Are they going to be like, oh, geez, Louise, Hamas shut down the power grid? Oh, okay, with their paragliders? I mean, something like that. I don't know, man. Things are just getting. I think that they need to shut down the internet, shut down the banking system. I think that's the next big shakeup. Is going to be related to that kind of thing.
Or the worst, which would be probably a FF event on Trump himself. Barmas was talking about that today, how there was a plan during Big Nine where when Bush was at the school in Florida, there was a team. I don't know. I can't enough to speak about this, but just that in describing it, that there was a team who was ready to knock out Bush, and that you remember the guy with the Ukrainian ties with Trump that happened. And if that happened, that it would be Palantir, JD Vance in as president. And then, they've already ceded the fact that, like you were just talking about, that Iran would have something to do with this. I think that would be.
They were doing that before he was elected president this time around. Mm-hmm. They were seeding that narrative. The FBI was like, oh, we got some super secret intel that says Iran is plotting to assassinate Donald Trump. Yeah, so that's been around.
Yeah, for months, and it's been amplified lately. And I found this one to be interesting because that's been so well amplified that it's mainstream. It's a mainstream talking point now. We should just take a deep breath here in 2025 and think about the fact that it's a mainstream talking point, basically, because podcasts and X get more views than mainstream media. Mainstream media reports about what happens on X and on podcasts, when they get their most views, which is irony of all ironies also. But they're going around spewing that stuff out there about the false flag. It's totally a mainstream talking point now, which I kind of love. And
wait for it to happen a year from now, when it's the 250th anniversary of July 4th.
Yeah. And wait for people to have to deal with the dissonance of the false flag spectrum. You know what I mean? Like once a person has to accept the potential that is what's behind a narrative that they're being fed, that changes the way that they view the entire media landscape. They have a new level of skepticism for every event that comes up. And then this is what I hope, at least, they start applying that skepticism and that critical thinking to every narrative that they're fed. And they start asking themselves the follow-up questions like, who benefits from this narrative, and so on and so forth. Where are the anomalies in this narrative? What's different about this than, an organic event, if you will. But here's an interesting twist on this, you guys. This is all over the place. This is out of Tehran time, so of course, consider the source with how you will, but exclusive. Israel planned false flag operation on U.S. soil. This thing was trending like crazy on X today, earlier in the day. Tehran obtained by the Tehran Times, shows that Israel was plotting to carry out an explosion on U.S. soil and subsequently blame Iran, with the apparent aim of instigating full-scale war between the United States and Iran. The plan involved orchestrating a destructive event within the U.S. and fabricating evidence to implicate Iran, thereby manipulating American public opinion and prompting military action. Iran uncovered the Israeli plot through information shared by a friendly nation. Upon learning of the potential attack, Iranians sent messages to U.S. officials and prevented the planned explosion from occurring. I mean, what what a strange place we're in right now. This is like the event everybody's been doing predictive programming on America with, on shows like Sean Ryan and Liz Wheeler and all these other shows. And here they are over in Tehran saying, oh, yeah, we know about that. We caught them. We told the Americans stopped it. It was Israel that was going to do the false flag and blame us. I mean, it's the Spider-Man meme. Who's the real Spider-Man?
I had actually made this theory that they don't have to do a real event. They could do what those guys just did, where they could say, "Oh my God," and then they have a patsy in one little event. Like we found he was gonna do X, Y, Z. We just saved millions of lives, and it's all thanks to Palantir.
Yep. There's so many twists and turns in this. So many ways these things can be bent now. It's we're in it. We're in full on Wonderland here. And can we confirm any of that? Notice how they said the plot was shared through information by a friendly nation. That's just another way of saying an anonymous source. It's just like, you can't even take this at face value, just like you can't take Western news at face value, because they'd say shit like that. It's their way of saying, trust us. Trust us. Someone smarter than us and smarter than you told us. We're just reporting the news.
And Prime Minister Maloney just had a cold.
Right. Wasn't feeling well. Took too many Dayquils.
Medicine head. It happens.
Yeah. Lacquer heads. Burn and Beard wanted to throw this one in there. Going back to Giorgia Maloney. Here's some context on that. Maloney has been, since February 2021, member of the Aspen Institute, a powerful think tank supported by, among others, the Rockefeller Group. The Aspen Institute, based in Washington, D.C., are used, among other things, by the Gates Foundation and that Rockefeller Fund financed. Other supporters are the Carnegie Foundation, the Lumnia Foundation, the Ford Foundation. The CEO of the Institute is Walter Isaacson, is in turn also a member of the World Economic Forum. The Aspen Institute is said to have had an important position within transatlantic networks, but is not known to many. It is described less publicly than the WEF is. An anonymous Twitter/X account from France with a wider reach wrote, Giorgia Maloney, member of the Aspen Institute, a powerful think tank funded by the Rockefellers, among others. The globalist puppeteers place their figures left or right as they please, depending on how the situation develops in each country. Thanks, man.
A lot of the same people who fund your PBS programs, too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the same foundations there that were involved and funded MK Ultra too. Just saying. All right, what else do we got here? So yeah, Bannon Levin clash. We got Trump calling for an end to Netanyahu's corruption trial, which you can learn a lot about in that documentary. Again, if you're just joining us, no, not that documentary. This one, the Bibi Files. Definitely check that out. A film by Alexis Bloom. That's up there on the YouTubes, and we'll put it on tonight's show page. What's this thing going on in New York City? I keep hearing about this Zoran Mamdani guy, Ruckus. What's
well, the good news is that Cuomo, in case you missed it, yes, that Cuomo was running for so the guy who used to be the governor of New York was running to be New York City's mayor. Wrap your head around that one.
Is that the nipple ring brother? Is he the one with the giant?
Yeah. Okay. That's him. Zoran, who knows? Zoran Mamdi. Apparently, allegedly, at least I don't even have to read any of the news articles to know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, as the rest of the general public does, for the most part, the dude's a Muslim socialist. And this can only mean one thing: we are going to have another 9/11.
He's the one who stated
all freaking week long. It's crazy.
He's the one who stated that if Bibi stepped foot in New York City, that he would be arrested because they follow the international court.
Right.
Oh, this makes perfect sense. So yes, so clearly a bunch of people from I'm not even gonna fill in the blank. Boarded a plane and took down the twin tower. They're going to do the exact same thing, and it's this guy who does it this time, and him and his buddies. Yep.
The other thing he did was he criticized the previous people in that position for going to a foreign country and kissing a wall, and said that he would not waste New Yorkers' time with that.
I can't imagine why they have bad things to say about this guy.
I can't imagine why he would say that, or why other. Yeah, I know, right? It's just like, oh boy.
I don't know about the socialism thing, but apparently he is, allegedly. We'll see. What does that mean? So a person who claims to be socialist becomes mayor in a Democrat-run place. So now it's a socialist instead of a Democrat, and Democrats are socialists anyways.
Double negative, right?
Like, what? I'm so confused. So nothing's going to change, except he happens to be Muslim, and that's never been a problem especially for Democrats or socialists or anybody. And oh, wait a minute, he's got a problem with the greatest ally of the United States. I think I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
And he wants to raise taxes on all the elites in New York and have DMV government grocery stores or something like that.
Oh, this guy's gonna get whacked. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. He's gonna have an unfortunate accident. A car that fell out of the sky lands on his plane or something.
Well, he seems confident. He says, tonight we made history. I will be your Democratic nominee for the mayor of New York City. I mean, Eric Adams is literally a criminal. So, I mean, am I supposed to be concerned that they're going to put a socialist
they all are.
over a socialist criminal? I mean, I don't know if this guy's a criminal yet. Maybe he is. I'm sure we'll find out. But
if he gets elected, then we'll know the guy's a scumbag.
Pretty much.
So he doesn't make it, or they take him out and we're like, oh man, he must have been one of the good ones. Shucks.
Right? They say after 90
these days, right?
Yeah. They say after 93% of the votes were counted in the primary's first round, Mamdani, who is currently a state representative, had 43.5% of the vote, and Cuomo was on 36.4%. So, I mean, that's not a Cuomo, another criminal, another guy who shouldn't be walking around in public. I mean, that guy lied to the American public.
An award-winning criminal.
Yeah, award-winning. Exactly. He lied to the public every night through his thin nipple ring showing T-shirts about what a hero he was in 2020. And as it turns out, I don't know who defines a hero like that, because it looks like his policies led to the deaths of many, 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 many elderly people, according to a lot of analysts and researchers and journalists.
They called him the grandma slayer, didn't they?
Another open borders guy. I mean, they had the same type of mayor in London, so now it's the New York version of this guy.
Yeah.
It worked out so well for them there, didn't it?
Yeah, great. Totally cooked.
New York showing some like UK flair here almost. Aren't most of their mayors like this guy? Socialists?
I would suggest that the tensions are probably going to get a little more heated than usual.
Yeah, especially with what's going on in the background here. We've kind of got this situation where a lot of Islamophobia is resurfacing for many Americans and being promoted by a lot of
I don't want to know what the real riot season is going to be involving. It might we might skip riot season, go straight to Civil War season.
It'll be when it'll be when Trump pardons Chauvin.
Oh, Right. Yeah, that could do it.
Random thought. Don't let me forget. We'll come back to it. But have you guys seen Kyle Rittenhouse lately?
No, what's he up to?
Okay, I'll have to find you the picture. It was dropped in the Discord chat. It took me a minute to realize who that was. I was like, wait a minute. No way. Okay, I'll drop it to you.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That should have showed up in my scroll. I follow him, yet I haven't seen him in months. So, what's going on, Elon? And what's this one? Oh my gosh. Ruckus dropped me this before the show. This is exactly what we're talking about. The national pulse here. Iranian sleeper cells threaten American colleges and universities. There you go. You get it from all different angles. The DHS and researchers at the Henry Jackson Society are warning that Iranian operatives could seek to target American colleges in retaliation for recent U.S. strikes on the Islamic Republic's nuclear facilities. They believe, quote unquote, sleeper cells who have entered the U.S. as foreign students could potentially execute a terror attack or other politically motivated acts of violence. I'm not even going to read any further into that, and I'm going to go ahead and guess that there is about this much evidence of what they're saying, and they're going to continue using words like could and believe and maybe land. So if someone, I'll link it on the show page. If any of you want to read it and tell me I'm wrong about that, send me an email, hesher@alternatecurrentradio.com. I don't know, man. Just recycled like 1970s, 80s, and 90s like war propaganda here.
Bingo. It's just it was just a quick example of the type of narrative that is continuously being beaten into people on their doom scroll feeds. 100%.
And like mine knows that one's no good on me, so it sends me one from Tehran. It's like I basically get the same thing from Tehran. I might trust Tehran or be slightly less skeptical of Tehran than I am the Department of Homeland Security, just because of the track record, and I don't, get doom scroll fed a bunch of Tehran stuff. But
that's why you should just stay with the dark humor stuff. That's why this is what I get on my doom scroll. So yeah, that is Kyle Rittenhouse, everybody. And it was somebody posted this and said, our boy grew up to be a JD Vance edit. And then someone says he looks like a boomer homunculus that escaped its jar.
Oh man,
that's terrible. I didn't say that. This poster said that. But yeah, look at it. I was like, oh, wait, who is that? Wait a minute. And I had to I'm like, oh my God, it's Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah.
Oh,
what's he been up to? Now we know.
Well, Kyle, Kyle deserves to be sitting pretty and fattened up if he fricking wants to, because he's been through it and he sued CNN and a couple others and won and is walking around with settlement money in his pocket. So,
and apparently a book deal.
Yeah, book deals. I mean, in perpetuity, interviews probably. So yeah, I don't blame him for hanging out and drinking beer and eating pizza. I guess it's he earned it. He did the time.
But not that kind of pizza. You hear me, Kyle?
Yeah, he knows. I'm sure he knows. Let's see.
Oh man, beer never hurt anybody, right? Right, Trump, right, Daddy?
Right.
That's right. he's a teetotaler. That's why it's funny to me, because he doesn't drink.
Yep. What's up with Texas, man? Why are they banning THC? Do you see that shit? Like Abbott signing away all the rights of the stores in the state to sell their various THCA, CBD, CBHG, all the other CBs, all that stuff. They're telling
going
them
after the weird stuff that doesn't even work.
Yeah, all the weird like lab oriented stuff that doesn't even, it works, but it doesn't work the same. That's for sure. mixed results at best.
He's on a weird kick. Is that the right word? He's on a weird roll, wheel.
Yeah. Okay.
Clutch.
We'll go with it.
Sorry. Anyways, Professor X, our governor here in Texas, that dude, he's making it illegal for like teenagers to use social media. You got to prove your ID if you want to watch prawn. I'm like 48 years old or something like that, right? I don't even know how old I am anymore. I'm not 50 yet. That's all I know. Close. Okay. So yeah, I'll be 50 next year. So I'll be 49 next month. That's right.
Virginia's doing that for anybody under 16 to get on the internet at all.
Wow.
Okay, well, see, but if I just want to watch, if I want to go to Pornhub, I have to like scan my face and hold up the ID next to it and give them my mother's maiden name, a drop of my blood, my social security number. It's absolutely crazy. And by the time you do all that, you're not in the mood anymore. So I just don't get what the guy's doing, dude.
Yeah, they're like, we need to dox all the adults to save the children from going on the website. This very, very backward. I mean that. I don't know if it's in the big beautiful bill or not, but it should be. Removing the language. You know, I don't even know if this fits in. You know, there's a process that happens in the Senate when they get one of those bills where they start scanning it. I think it's called the bird something. Bird is the word of some sort. Bird clause or something like that, but they go through it and they look for things that are financial and not policy. So there's a lot of maneuvering that happens in these omnibus bills to like very specifically like just redact certain sentences and definitions from older policies so that they can tweak and get around them without like outright fixing it. Like earlier I was talking about how suppressors and short barrel rifles and short barrel shotguns are kind of going to be liberated in the big beautiful bill, but rather than changing the law out of federal sense to a constitutional framework that disallows states from removing these rights from people, they just can only remove certain clauses from the documents that are already there. They just strike those through, and then they kind of leave the language open to interpretation state by state. So it's just like, it's not what they're doing is not a means of draining swamp or changing policy. It's just as backhanded as it's ever been. And it ends up hurting people. It ends up with people losing their rights if they're in the wrong state. Anyways, I don't remember how we got there. Oh, we were talking about the THC stuff. So they need to they've been talking about removing it from Schedule 1, which I think would be the right thing to do. Bump it down to 2 or 3 or whatever.
But then places like here would now we're interested in states' rights. No, we're going to keep it illegal here.
I know. So, it's just like, it's a shell game with states' rights. It seems like we want that. That's a conservative thing, but we don't want it in. We don't want you to have it over this, or we don't want it to like extend to other states.
Either you got rights or you don't. This is ridiculous. I thought it was baked in the Constitution, and it should be that simple.
It is, and they just shit on it all the time, man, and play these games with us. It's why people like us get frustrated.
How many of our founding fathers were stoned off their ass when they wrote that thing? Ask yourself that.
All of them, bro. What else is Texas doing right now?
Thing. So there's a number of states that are trying to scramble and pass laws to prevent not Bill Gates, unfortunately, but China and Iran from purchasing land.
Chinese government from owning land in the state.
Okay.
Arizona is home to a number of
so Texas, the latest state with a law banning foreign adversaries from buying real estate.
For the F-35
Can we start by just passing that real quick and then stop letting domestic adversaries buying real estate? Talking to you, Bill Gates.
Video.
Very likely to react.
What's that?
To have you on the program.
The video is playing.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the lady from the Real World 3 in the middle talking about this.
There you go.
It is. Yeah.
No way. All right. I have like triple mutes on when I go to Fox. Let's see if this
that's Pete Hegseth's former job.
Arizona, the state's Democratic governor, facing backlash after vetoing a bill to block the Chinese government from owning land in the state.
Arizona is home to a number of military bases, such as Luke Air Force Base, home to a number of fighter squadrons, including the primary training center for the F-35 stealth fighter jet.
Our next guest ran for governor of Arizona.
Again with the
special
stealth.
advisor to the U.S. Agency for Global Media. Carrie Lake is here to react. Carrie, so great to have you on the program. I'm just scratching my head trying to figure out why this governor would veto a bill like this. I'm going to read you what she said. She said, I vetoed Senate Bill 1109. Improvements to systems that protect our infrastructure are important. However, this legislation is effective at counter-espionage and does not directly protect our military assets. Additionally, it lacks clear implementation criteria and opens the door to arbitrary enforcement. As my co-host here, Brian, says, gobbledygook, we don't know what that means. Why did she veto this bill?
Well, I have my suspicions about her, but this was just regular old common sense piece of legislation. It was a no-brainer from the legislature. You know, it would have prohibited Chinese land purchases near, as you mentioned, military bases and other important areas in Arizona. And like so many other pieces of legislation, it landed on her desk and it was immediately vetoed. I've always believed that we should take every square inch of U.S. farmland back from China.
Amen.
And not even leave them with a single blade of grass. But I think she's being disingenuous, Rachel, because this bill, it went through a bipartisan amendment process, like all of them do, where if she wanted to influence it and influence the outcome of it, she could have. That's called leadership. But she doesn't give a damn that Arizona could be compromised under her watch. And that's been the case very often with her. So, by the way, it wasn't just about military bases. There's also strategic assets mentioned in this legislation, including the new Taiwanese semiconductor factories in Phoenix. We've got the biggest nuclear power plant, the Palo Verde nuclear power plant here, all areas that would have catastrophic implications if infiltrated by the CCP.
Yeah, Carrie, it's not just, it could be espionage, but it could be agro-terrorism. We've heard stories this week about Chinese grad students bringing fungus into the United States that could wipe out crops. The governor vetoed this. I would think the legislature, because it's bipartisan, could override her veto. Do you expect that to happen here and send a message that they're serious about it, even if she's not?
I don't know. I don't know if we could muster up enough Democrat votes. I mean, and I don't want to get, Democrat, Republican. Right now, my thoughts are you're either pro-America and for America, or you're working against our national security interests. And I'm not sure they could muster up enough Democrat votes to do that, unfortunately.
So real quick, what has been the reaction among voters in Arizona to her veto of this bill?
Well, you have to remember, we've been through a couple of years of living hell with her as sitting in the governor's office. Everything that she's done has been disastrous. She has misspent money. They don't know where hundreds of millions of dollars is. And it's put us in a budget issue as well. So she has not been a good leader of the state. So I don't think that people are surprised by this. But what is surprising is how it could put our whole country at risk. This is national security. We're talking about our number one adversary in the CCP. We can't have the Communist Chinese Party owning land near Luke Air Force Base where we train our fighter jets. We've got farmland that, as you mentioned, would be of immense interest.
All right, I'm going to cut that right.
Say that Carrie Lake, who's talking, is also a featured speaker at the Israel Heritage Foundation dinner. And is a pro usual thing. So it's never as clear cut as it seems with these people. And, we don't want them having Chinese territory next to the military base, but these are the same people also that she's against it. But I'm sure she'll be pro BlackRock buying the huge swaths of land like we were talking about in last week's show, right? Was selling off all the national parks.
Yeah.
So it's always something.
It's such low-hanging fruit too. I remember covering stories like this on TNT like a year and a half ago, and it was like I think we were talking to a farmer from maybe Michigan, one of the M states, maybe, where the land right next to theirs had been zoned for a Chinese electronic vehicle battery factory to exist. It's just like it's ridiculous, man. It's this isn't going away, it's we're like
Whenever they
so
bring up
far.
national security, it's always I saw Ruckus look up when she said that. It's always that is a key term.
Yeah.
As a dog whistle for us. So.
Well, it's interesting because unbeknownst to everybody, I think that's an older report. I don't know what maybe it was a different article, but Fox News does this all the time where there's old videos that just play on the. So that was a report from the beginning of this month. That's how it started. And that's the Democratic side, right? So the Dems, okay, the brand new news as of today is that states like Louisiana, I think was the other one, but Texas is passing a new law that prevents China from purchasing land,
right,
farmland, and all that stuff. So there's both the examples, but all of this stuff was before the Iran-Israel thing too. So again, we're all right. I mean, so they politicize everything and nothing changes. Yeah, it's crazy.
And this problem that they're discussing, like every individual place that it's happened, is its own story and worth talking about because it's affected people that live near there. But this problem has been going on for decades. We have entire
there's one new piece of information that I was like, why is everyone talking about this? Because Trump, I don't know what it was, but he's opened up all this land for sale as a money raising scheme thing.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. It was I think you linked me that one last week, and we showed it. It was Trump opening up land in the national forests for sale.
Like everywhere, it's all over the place. Yeah.
And I mean, that's one of the biggest vindications, and I told you so's for many of us who said for years when they started clamping down on the national forest, like, oh, now you can't bring your dog. Now you can't leave the trail. Now, you know what I mean? Like back in the old days, it was pack in, pack out. Do as thou wanted in the national forest. Enjoy. Don't break the hunting laws. Don't leave garbage. Now it's like nanny state. Like you can't go over here. You can't cross the yellow tape. You can't take a rock home with you. You can't bring your dog, all this stuff, and then, we're going to close down this whole park, for 5 years, all this stuff. We said many years ago, it's just a matter of time before they start selling off that land because they're stopping you from using it. So here we are, we're there. So now the backlash, I don't know, Ruckus, it feels like if states cared about this, they would have done something about it, 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, why do Chinese companies own like entire ports in this country? How's that work?
It moves slow. It's red tape,
Yeah.
It's the age-old problem, Hesher. That's
yes. We must need more of it. That's the thing.
This is why we can't send money or help people after their entire lives are upended and they're underwater or from flooding or their entire state is on fire and is burned to the ground. There's nothing we can do, but we can send aid and relief immediately to Israel. Anyway.
It is our duty. What else should we do with our tax dollars?
She also stated in the same breath that it was a danger because it was surrounding the Taiwanese semiconductor company on American soil, which is amazing.
The bigger
amazing
problem.
statement.
Yeah, right. So as far as
she brought up, she said the value, whatever her code word is for like minerals, basically the resources, right?
Right. More rare earth mineral stuff. On and on with that.
When they have those Rosie O'Donnell glasses, it's already
oh god,
always the same.
Yeah. So that was Senate
Hobbs
bill.
Is terrible, by the way. Like I don't know what's up with that woman. She's nuts. But Carrie Lake's a little wacky too. So I don't know.
She can be a little wacky. Senate Bill 17. That's what we signed. That's what Greg Abbott signed here in Texas. And it prohibits countries identified as security threats in the intelligence community's 2025 annual threat assessment from acquiring quote unquote real property in the state. Countries include China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and the bill identified quote unquote real property as agricultural land, commercial or industrial properties, residential properties, and land used for mining or water use. So those people can still all buy ticky-tacky houses in the suburbs, I guess, but they can't do commercial stuff.
And they just deemed cryptocurrency holdings like Bitcoin to be property. So that means if Bitcoin is mined in America, they can't, in Texas, China and Iran can't buy Texas's Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm just extending the thought here, but that's a real thing. And Texas just jumped on board. It's one of the very few states to do this, but they weren't the first. I think New Hampshire was the first, shockingly. The stockpile. They're going to have a cryptocurrency Bitcoin reserve stockpile here in Texas.
All right. Giddy up. So when they do Cyber Polygon, we're gonna have our state's gonna have some money, you know. Maybe we won't run out of toilet paper during Cyber Polygon.
We'll get some universal basic Satoshis.
I'll take them.
Satoshis are the smallest denominations of Bitcoin.
Yeah, we'll take them. Yeah, we'll take them. We can buy a fraction of a 9mm bullet. Yeah. So where do you think this is going to go? States outlawing it and other states, you know, this sort of dialectical. It feels a little theatrical to me. It feels a little late in the game to me. It feels like something that could have been addressed by the federal government many years ago. But I think it was, and I think they set it up exactly the way they wanted it.
Maybe technocratic billionaires will solve the problem for everybody, and they'll snatch up all the land, and that way we don't have to worry about foreign powers.
There you go.
Because the technocratic billionaires have nothing but our best interests at heart.
They are philanthropic to their bones. Clearly. You can tell from those Alex Karp clips that we watched in the last couple of weeks. Oh, man.
Notice they don't seem to be that concerned about one entity or one person buying it all. It's just like, oh, that's fine if Bill Gates wants to own it all or Elon Musk, but as long as they don't come from Iran, China, North Korea, or definitely not Palestine, and the list is growing, I'm sure.
Oh, it'll be dynamic.
But I think they limited themselves to a specific year so the ones that were listed at this time on this specific report. So if we have new enemies in the near future, they're going to have to revise all that and make a new law. So
no problem. They have no problem with that. I mean, Palantir will send one of their they'll send their CTO onto Fox, and they will just declare who should be declared the next group of terrorists, you know, whether it's Palestinians or Code Pink or I don't know, whoever, you know, it depends what happens tomorrow and the next day. But I think we've seen the beginning of the trend here. Palantir goes in and just announces on Fox who they want to be designated a terrorist, and then they go back to doing what they were doing. And then maybe that happens. We'll see.
And occasionally, as I believe Mr. Karp said, famously, occasionally our technology is used to kill people.
Occasionally to kill people. Otherwise, you will just wake up scared, and your mistress will be doxxed, and you will be doxxed, and you will have no money, and you will have no groceries, and you will be a social reject. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Mr. Karp. Take more of my tax dollars, please. Okay, what else do we got? Trump admin will encourage all Americans to use wearables. No thanks. There you go.
And it's our favorite person pushing it too.
Look at that. Department of Health and Human Services will soon start a massive advertising blitz to encourage the uptake of skepticism on pharmaceutical injectable Oh, no, wait, I'm reading this wrong. Sorry. It's to encourage the uptake on wearable devices such as fitness trackers among Americans. This is next on RFKJ's list, huh? Buy an Apple Watch. For my next trick, buy an Apple Watch. Buy a Fitbit.
This is something we've been tracking for a long time and anticipating, but I wasn't expecting him to roll this out in the name of health under the guise of RFK Jr. pushing it. This is crazy.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, Kennedy says they're going to launch one of the biggest advertising campaigns in HHS history. Representative Troy Balderson of Ohio spoke positively about what he described as innovative wellness tools and asked Kennedy to describe how the government's promoting access to such tools. Balderson noted that research suggests that increased patient engagement can result in improved health. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to read this whole thing. I'll link it on the show page for those of you that do.
Increased patient engagement should mean being able to get a doctor's appointment before 2027.
An affordable one.
Not a wearable.
Yeah. That's the problem here, right, Baze? It's like, we see what you're doing here. And I will admit, the wearables, there's plenty of reasons to get a wearable. You know what I mean? If you have a tendency to fall down and need help getting up, or if you're easily locked out of your house, or I don't know, if you're a kid who loses 10 cell phones a year and your mom straps one to your wrist, like there's plenty of utility. If you're a swimmer and you want to know how many laps you swim, you're a runner, you want to know how many, all that shit, like cool, right on. But just like encouraging, like HHS encouraging people to buy a technological product that reports your biometric health
and
data.
The Fitbit's like 2011 or something.
Yeah, that thing's old tech.
And the what's the bike thing called? The Peloton. The Peloton is that's just a thing that watches you while you're at home. So it would make sense if it would be like, oh yeah, go to, be able to get an appointment like soon if you have a problem, and then go, and do regular workout stuff, go work out. But it seems weird that RFK would not be conscientious of the fact that, this indicates people plugging into the system in order to be, I mean, it goes beyond just, he didn't think of that.
Right. I know you got to go soon, man.
Yeah.
We're going to shut it down in a minute here, but also, the other things, like there's no, like it feels like policy wise, campaign wise, whatever this is, we're leapfrogging the safety of having a Bluetooth device attached to your body or in one of your ear holes. I notice you're using wired earbuds instead of wireless ones via Bluetooth, and a lot of people choose to do that not only because it's cool and old school and sounds better in many cases, but because they don't trust the electromagnetic frequencies coming out of those things. And there's a significant amount of missing research on how safe it is to strap a Bluetooth device to your body and just leave it there.
Even sleeping, what they've said for years, which is sleeping between your device and your Bluetooth, like if you have a Bluetooth speaker, which I'm guilty of a lot, I fall asleep to listening to things, is incredibly bad. But I've always just thought, wait till an entire generation goes by and what will happen to the evolution of people's brains as far as this goes, which now we've bypassed completely because of RNA and the, what do they say? I saw some study today that said that they tracked the actual changing of DNA based on, I don't know what it was, in a blood molecule or something. So we've gone past just the dangers of wearing headphones in your ears, but still, and not to mention the fact that young people, for example, already wear wearables. They already all have Apple Watches all day long. They all live in earbuds. So I guess this is just a last gasp at trying to get boomers or somebody to wear this stuff. But
well, it is a lot cooler than the old Life Alert, right? When you and I were kids, they sold the old people Life Alert, and it was this big chonky necklace with a big red emergency button on it, and if you fell and you couldn't get up, you'd push that. Now you can wear an Apple Watch, and you can doom scroll on it, you can make phone calls on it, you can receive phone calls and texts on it, and you can also SOS.
Yeah, it's also anxiety inducing for people that they tell you, if you have AFib every day or whatever, and you're making constant trips to the emergency room because you think you're having a heart attack, and it's just your Apple Watch malfunctioning or reading your body wrong or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it makes you miss the days of the Thomas Cruise hover around and the jitterbug and the life alert.
Yeah, dude. The lark.
Remember the
All right,
clapper?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Clap
the
on, clap
clapper.
off. It was much
That's
easier.
right. One more before you go. I
And the
gotta get
next
your
phase is the brain chip.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I gotta get your take on this before you bounce though. Did you hear right here in Texas, not but an hour from where Ruckus and I are sitting, the Liver King was arrested for threatening Joe Rogan. This has become a huge thing in the socials, and this is right in the wake of the Liver King documentary coming out on Netflix. I don't know if you saw it. Your take on all this?
My take is that I saw this on Alex. I saw Alex talking about it, about the terroristic threats in Austin. And I went to Liver King's Instagram and checked it out. And it was interesting because Alex has been doing all these working out and doing all these exercises. And he does one where he's like crawling around on the floor. And then I looked at Liver King's Instagram, and it was him crawling around his hotel room, but like not working out. He was just doing that. And some said it was meth, some said it was whatever, and he was caught with something. But I will say I give credit to Tristan at Primal Edge Health, because he called this dude out a long time ago.
He told us about that guy on Boiler Room, and I was like, what? Who's this? And then we went and looked, and it was like, and Spore and I were talking about that when we watched the documentary. It was just like, because we hadn't heard of him in a while, since Tristan brought him up. We're like, oh, this is that guy Tristan brought up on the show. He was like just the caricature of like what a carnivore is, just this total freaking weirdo.
Some say that it's he's got brain worms. Speaking of RFK,
RFK.
Yeah, but it's just another example of a lot of these characters turning into ghouls, but very, very, very entertaining.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, dude, I'm lapping this one up. Like I saw that hit YouTube last night, and all of a sudden, like 6 people made videos about it. I watched all of them. I was laughing so hard. That guy's in his 30s. Can you believe it? Like I was seeing pictures of him when he was younger, and pictures of it, like his mugshot, and it's just like, oh my god, wow, whatever.
You just wonder, like, this dude, I think he has, like, some of the videos are from like his mansion, wherever he came from, and then he stays at the Four Seasons in Austin, and it's like, just stay there, dude. You're fine. You don't need to be doing all. Just enjoy your life. Just chill. Whatever you did, you're making out of your life. Just chill. You don't have to do all this stuff. But
he makes so much money. Like, there's no reason why he should be playing social media games or drugging himself into psychosis or anything like that. Like he leveraged that whole thing that, Tristan called out so well and made a huge industry out of it. Like I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's still involved. If he's not, I don't know, but there's that whole ancestral, I forget the name of the company, but it's ancestral something. And you can get like, pills of like liver dust or whatever, for those of you that don't want to just eat a raw liver from a cow, like that has been ripped out of it by a steroid weirdo. He'll sell you little pills to eat it, take the same stuff. And that company is still huge. As far as I know, they still, I haven't heard anything bad about their products. Like there's no reason why, other than drugs and psychosis that this should have happened.
Yeah, meth psychosis, like 300 years old, not 30s. That's crazy.
Yeah, he looks like I don't know, a golem of some sort.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you got to get out of here, Baze. We'll let you go, man. Thanks for being here tonight, man. Over to you. Give a shout out to the channel and all that.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it. Come over to my channel. Please subscribe. Baselit Analyzer on YouTube. Some big things coming up. Just was with Burmis and Vedmore today, and then coming up with John Hears. Also, I've got a bunch of movies lined up. We've got Memories of Murder, Lawless, Public Enemies. We've got Shakespeare coming up, C.S. Lewis, William Blake, a bunch of stuff. So come on over there for literary and film analysis. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Baze. There he goes. Baselit Analyzer once again here in the Boiler Room. Go subscribe to his channel if you haven't yet. Ruckus, what else we got? I think we went mostly down the list. I had a few ancillary things, but I'll just go to you for any saved rounds.
We got to talk about Adam. Look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
This is speaking of Arizona. This was in Arizona. Did you hear about this? Did you see this?
What
Did
is
you catch
it?
any of this?
Give me the headline.
This guy, he confesses to
No.
crucify. He murdered and crucified a pastor, somebody at random, in his home at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Murdered him, executed him, as the guy describes. He had like a total of 14 pastors. But look at this guy. He was going to execute and crucify at least 14 pastors at different states across the country. And then he had this weird sit-down interview, which is that X link that I just sent you. You would not believe this. You have got to play this. The audience has to see this. We have to break this down. Tell me this is not an act. This is a full Hollywood produced. How the guy who's been talking about it described this as like the because I didn't see the movie, but Natural Born Killers style. The way they're treating this guy, sensationalizing it. You have to see at least parts of this interview. Just a couple minutes. This will blow your mind, dude. This is crazy.
Is it at the top of the article?
Yeah, it's the X link that I sent. Yeah.
All right. My filters on internets seem to be interfering.
No, not in the article. Above the article link in our private chat.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
I sent
Okay.
two separate things. Yeah.
I thought it was maybe embedded up there at the top. Sometimes I get that. Okay. Yeah, I got this. Let's see here.
Just a couple minutes is all we need, I think. It's wild, man.
So you had no previous contact with Pastor Bill?
Zero. I didn't want any previous contact. My only criteria was you're breaking the first commandment.
But Pastor Bill was innocent.
Innocent, in your perspective, there's nothing.
But not
worse,
yours.
But there's nothing worse than breaking the first commandment. I drove from there to Phil's house, like 2 a.m. on a Sunday night. And I executed him. It's fast. I mean, it's, I didn't want it to be bloody. I didn't want it to be a painful. I'm not trying to torture the guy. I just wanted to execute him quickly. Put him in the cross position on the wall, and I screwed him to the wall. And then I had a crown of thorns I put on his head. So he's crucified against.
How is that quickly? I mean, just curious.
The wall with the image of Jesus, because what I'm saying is, what you're preaching is not what God said. It's the opposite of what God said.
Most people that would come into that scene, Bill's murder scene, would be horrified.
Sure,
Horrified.
that's right.
Were you feeling satisfied?
I wasn't, look, I'm not, it's not in my heart to go around killing people.
You also have a family. Bill has a family. Did you think about that at all?
No, I'm thinking about the families that are in utter destruction. By following these false teachings and not obeying God and not giving our Creator the respect for giving families life to begin with.
How would you feel, though, if somebody crucified you?
Good luck trying.
Do you think you're a monster?
Do I think I'm a monster? No.
It's a gruesome killing of another person. Most people would consider that monstrous.
Sure, of course
But
they
you
would.
don't think you are?
No, I see myself as more of like a saint.
So when did this plan come to
I
fruition?
think that's enough for now.
He sees
Is that
himself
fucking crazy or what?
Dude, you sure this isn't like a Google VO4 video?
I double, triple checked, man. This is allegedly legit, man. This is, at least this is what they're passing off. So I got this weird feel. What if this is was this what the new, is this deep fake wag the dog news? Are we seeing it? Was this AI created and they're trying to pass this off as real? There's something completely weird as F about this whole thing, dude. And it has served the purpose. People are jumping all over the tattoo on the neck. Already the one certain aspect, without thinking or doing any research, is accusing this person of being Jewish and say, "Oh, see, this is Israel are bad." And I'm like, okay, Israel's got some problems, but this isn't it. And then I think this hands off. I don't think that's involved here, but they're jumping on that because he's got the tattoo and the timing of this and all of it. And there's something very, very fishy about this whole thing.
I agree. Is this a case that has been completed? Is he still in the middle of trial, or do you know?
It's all over the news, like just in the last day or two. So
all right,
who knows?
All right, I'm gonna have to dig into that a little bit more. That is creepy. I don't know what else to say other than.
And the way that they connected, where they were like horrifying, and they said it at the same time. Everything was very strange about it. The guy's body language, his personality. I'm like, oh my God, I could see how people are gonna latch on to this guy. Who knows, man? This is very strange stuff.
And do you know what his problem is? Like, he keeps mentioning the first commandment. Like, what specifically did this alleged victim do?
That is what I'm still trying to figure out. So he believes that the person is not obeying the first commandment in the Bible. And the first commandment says to what is the first commandment?
Thou shalt not kill, isn't it?
Well, isn't that strange? But no, it's not. Shoot, I want to quote this the right way here. It has to do specifically with obedience to God. You shall have no other gods before me.
Right.
I am a jealous God. You shall have no other gods before me. Yeah.
Right.
So he's saying that this person, whoever this Christian pastor is, for whatever reason, as well as all these other ones on this random list, are idolizing or worshiping other gods or something like that. And he took offense to that, and he needs to do what he feels is his spiritual duty to murder and then crucify them for some reason in order to send the proper message. And I'm like, this is like, tell me that's not a mentally disturbed person, but he seems on a different level.
This is straight out of the plot of a movie. So like, I wonder what if the okay, here's my one what if he thinks that the god that or the false idol that they are serving is government. My ears are perked, but somehow I kind of doubt that. Check this, the first comment. I looked at the first comment under that by someone named Fake and Gay 61 on X. This Adam Schaaf guy with the enormous Hebrew YHWH tattoo on his neck crucifies a Christian for not following God's law at the time in the news cycle we're in, and the story is everywhere. And he gets a full Natural Born Killers style interview of the highest movie quality and scripting I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, no fucking way. I've barely looked into this. I don't have to. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it isn't real.
But rest in peace, Pastor Bill. What a way to go.
Yeah, Pastor Bill. Oh no, Mr. Bill. Shit. That's horrible. If it's true, I have to have like doubts on the entire narrative. I'm with Fake and Gay 61.
It does seem like it's an older crime, and it's just making the headlines now. But what interesting timing, what interesting circumstances, a lot of like missing information for lots of people to run with and make assumptions about, and holy moly, the presentation.
Whoa, wow, yeah. So interweb sleuths out there watching Boiler Room tonight, please dive in. I don't know if we have the time to dive into something so fake and gay. So dive in, let us know what you find. We're curious over here. And if I
it's not fake and gay, it's fake and Yahweh.
Faking Yahweh.
Sorry. And I think that's what this dude, he's faking the Yahweh thing anyway.
Yeah, we're definitely sus. All right. Yeah, that's all I got, Ruckus. I think that's a good place to leave it. Thanks for everything you do over here, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for a very special recording we're going to do. Anything else you want to throw out there before we shut down tonight?
Yes, you and I are doing a pre-recording for another episode of Truth Bomb with Johnny Vedmore, which should be airing not this weekend, but the following weekend. But this weekend, we'll be airing something I just wrapped up with our good friend and colleague, Jamie Hanshaw. I'm actually on Jamie Hanshaw's podcast. You're going to be able to catch that Sunday this weekend, I think 7 p.m. Central, and me and Jamie are going to join the premiere of the live chat and hang out with everybody. It's going to be a banger. You do not want to miss this one. She titled it I Sim. This is episode 65 of her show that she does Out of This World on her YouTube channel. So that was a blast. Shout out to Jamie and Jay. We did it right after Jay. The machine was still hot. He just got done doing the 4th hour hosting for InfoWars. So I'm lucky her machine or my machine didn't blow up. We made it through the whole thing. It was pretty good. Awesome stuff. So check that out. I may be on Weaponized News tomorrow night because I was not able to make it this Monday. And Sam has been doing a hiatus. Sam Chaney, who hosts Weaponized News, has been unable to do the show this week, but I think he's doing one tomorrow. I'll probably be there. I might party crash. He hasn't officially invited me, but you might catch me there. Otherwise, you'll see me doing my thing with Jamie. And then I do have a special something that I just posted on the website for everybody that you can go check out. So go to alternatecurrentradio.com, and right there in the slider where the featured shows are, you'll see what I'm talking about. But last week on Friday, a week ago, was the 50th anniversary of the release of the movie Jaws. And as y'all know, or maybe you don't know, I'm scared of sharks, and I do this therapy session thing where I play shark video games on my Twitch channel. So I decided to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Jaws by playing some shark games and reading some shark news. There it is. Thank you, Hesher. And we celebrated the 50th birthday of Bruce. That was the nickname of the mechanical shark that was in the film. There he is, celebrating his little birthday cake. So it's not the Daily Ruckus, it's the Daily Shark, but there are a lot of Daily Ruckus elements in there, and it's very much presented in Ruckus Vision. So since I don't have new episodes of the Daily Ruckus, go check that out. And like I said, there'll be brand new episodes of the Daily Ruckus coming in July. I've got a massive amount of new content heading your way. So, and then you always catch me here on Boiler Room, and oftentimes with Patrick Henningsing, alongside our other colleagues, such as Hesher, occasionally Basil Valentine, and the likes over on Patrick's program on Sundays. So I'll see you there. In the meantime, may God bless each and every one of you. May God save this republic. Ruckus out.
All right. Thanks, Ruckus. Wonderful having you here with us tonight, and looking forward to your next appearance here in the Boiler Room. And we'll definitely be seeing you on Sunday for Sunday Wire. If you're new around here and you haven't checked out Sunday Wire, you definitely should. Ruckus and I are there pretty much regularly these days for the Overdrive segment, and Patrick Henningsen is crushing it per usual over there. We got a good one lined up for you this weekend. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Be sure and support us if you can. Buy a shirt, buy some merch, drop something in the swear jar. We appreciate all that. It helps us keep going. And we'll see you again next week for another Boiler Room. Peace out.
That's it. Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.